Well, hello. Welcome to, I think we are up to about episode 32 of the Trading Psychology and Mindset podcast. My name's Ash Playstead. I'm your host. Just a quick bit about myself in case we haven't met before. I've been an active trader, a researcher, an analyst, and a coach of traders for the past 25 years, as well as being a very curious student of human nature, how our minds work. And I would say without fear of reservation, that understanding how to get myself and keep myself mentally fit for trading was the pivotal shift that changed my trading life. And this podcast is all about providing real life, tangible and actionable steps you can take to get yourself mentally fit for trading success. Now, before we get started on this episode, be sure to head over to my website, mindsetfitmethod.com, where you can check out more helpful content, plus subscribe to my newsletter, Mindset Reflexology, where I dive deeper into these advanced trading mindset fitness strategies. Now, one of the best counterculture bands of the 1970s, or ever actually, I may say, and being a child of the 70s and 80s of myself, I love this band, Pink Floyd, one of my favorite bands. Their seminal album, Another Brick in the Wall, defined for a generation really a yearning sense for freedom and independence from corporate, educational, familial, government influence. It was an amazing time. Now, I trust that whets your appetite a little bit for this episode. Now, let's head over and get started. Roger Waters famously wrote the line or all the words for Another Brick in the Wall, one of which was, "We don't need no thought control." And that is the key message for my fellow traders in this episode. Now, the key insight here that we are seeking to obtain in this episode is about freedom of thought. And as I mentioned in my intro, I'm a child of this generation of the 70s and 80s, and it absolutely embedded in me a strong sense of what freedom is and why free thinking is so important. So I became a free thinker myself and have subsequently applied that to pretty much everything in my life. Now, occasionally being a free thinker gets me on the wrong side of society and of the corporate world and of sometimes my family. And to be honest, it took me many years and lots of ups and downs to work this out for myself. And as I mentioned, being a free thinker, and I freely admit this, doesn't make me a fantastic employee. I was always thinking for myself and conjuring up new, and I thought, better ways to do things. And as I found out after a few years in the corporate world, about 10 or 12 years, many corporations and their bosses don't necessarily want nor seek free thinkers in their organizations. Mostly they desire foot soldiers, troops to do their bidding, while staying in their lane. Now, unless you end up running the place and you're climbing that corporate ladder, that's just the way it is. And quite possibly, I guess, the way it needs to be. Either way, that wasn't for me. And I'm guessing it might not be for you if you're in trading. Your current path may be causing you some conflict with your trading journey if this is you. And I've found over the years that this tends to be the most common truth as to why people are drawn to trading. I really can say that with some conviction. It's not the money, it's not the lifestyle, it's not even the intellectual stimulation. They're all factors, yet it's overwhelmingly because deep inside many people, they seek freedom, true freedom of thought, free competition without interference, and a free life. And that's what trading offers. And that's why we love it so deeply, right? I hope you're with me on that. Trading offers free life, free competition, freedom of thought. And this is really where I hope to shine the light in today's discussion. Why free thinking is so important to success in trading and where it can be found, and the connection with Pink Floyd's famous song. Now, living life inside the lines may work and may be for you. And I am certainly not dismissing it or even suggesting that it has anything to do with self-worth. In fact, it is quite clear, to me certainly, that finding what you love, what fills up your bucket, And what suits your nature is most important for a happy and fulfilling life. Now, this is where things start to collide, of course, where the concept of herd behavior or collective thinking comes into conflict with the solitude or free thinking of trading. So if I was to sum this idea up in sort of one sentence or two sentences, it would be this: collective thinking is the enemy of good trading. To succeed at trading, it is helpful to study others. It's helpful to learn from others, and it's helpful to be inspired by others. Yet to succeed yourself, you must gravitate to the absolute solitude of free thought. And more specifically is that we as traders must bring control of our thoughts back inside of ourselves, for that's where trading success can be found, can be sourced from. Now, to understand this powerful concept better, I probably need to clarify something first, okay? Thought control is not somehow being externally manipulated by some omnipotent being or force. That's not what I'm saying, nor is it via being hypnotized or somehow unduly controlled by the current artificial intelligence gold rush, nor is it to be found in trading like a robot, which I hear a lot out there. And that actually has to be one of the stupidest and most profound lies promulgated by many supposed educators in the trading industry, that you can learn to trade like a robot. You might look like a robot from the outside, but every single human being on the planet has to deal with the internal turmoil that trading creates. So what I am saying is that thought control is when you are forming your own thoughts based largely on the thoughts and intentions of others. When your thoughts are formed from your experience and interaction with the thoughts and intentions of others. And I think this is what Roger Waters, who wrote Another Brick in the Wall, of course, was getting at in the song. He speaks to a rebellious scream into the void of society's cacophony of conformity, of sameness, of collective groupthink. And he exhorts us to be independent, free thinkers. Now, never has this been more important than in the ultra-stressful world of trading for a living. Now, our thoughts are the one thing that we have that's unique to us, okay? That is formed from our life experience. Our thoughts, that voice in our head, is unique to us. Now, no matter how much we lean on the experience of others, trading success will continue to elude you until you adopt a free thinker's mindset. Now, all this simply means is that we need to learn where our thoughts come from and how you can evolve into a version of yourself that knows itself so well that you can separate yourself easily from your thoughts so they no longer direct your emotions and hence they don't direct your state of mind. That's key takeaway. Now, this skill set lies at the heart of good mental fitness. You'll hear me use the term mental fitness a lot because that is truly what I'm talking about here. There's not a quick fix. It's not a done it once, finished type of thing. Just like being fit for any physical endeavor, mental fitness is an ongoing process, and it's especially so for trading. Now, I would argue in pretty much any endeavor where emotional maturity and self-regulation is important, really good, sound mental fitness is imperative. A couple of examples. I mean, think of a brain surgeon, think of a rock climber, think of an Olympic 100-meter sprinter. All these endeavors require a complete focus on the present moment. I mean, the bottom line is that you cannot allow yourself to be stressed out. For example, if you're a rock climber, you cannot be thinking about getting to the top. You cannot be thinking about what the consequences of slipping and falling, and you're hanging off the side of a mountain. You have 100% focus on the next thing you're doing in the moment, the next move, the next foothold. Same with brain surgery, same with a 100-meter sprint. All of your focus comes down to being in that moment. And so it is with trading, okay? We must learn to control our thoughts so we can depend on them under stress and pressure. And there is no environment, I'm sure you already know this, but there is no environment more stressful to our caveman brain than trading, where we put our brains essentially through its worst nightmare on a daily basis, right? Triggering flight every time we trade. So the point of free thinking is to establish essentially a baseline process by which you can have supreme confidence in both your system and your ability to effectively deal with the normal emotional storms that happen. Now, remember, it's not the absence of emotion that defines successful trading. It's the calm and reassured regulation of emotions that gets the job done. And as I said before, it's truly one of the greatest mistruths I see perpetuated out there in the trading industry, that you can train yourself to trade like a machine, like a robot. As I said, again, this may be what it looks like from the outside, but in my 25 years in trading, it has shown me one thing for darn certain, unequivocally, that under the surface, even the calmest looking trader is subject to the normal turmoil under the surface. You've probably heard the calm gliding swan metaphor, where above the water, all you see is a beautiful calm swan gliding across the water. Drop underneath the water and you see the feet paddling like crazy to create the impression of calm above the surface. This is what it's like for most traders. So what's the effective path forward to establishing this level of individual thought control? Well, it starts with breath. Then it continues with mindfulness. Then it resolves via building a new process to reflex your mind to calm patience. Now, in biology, this is called the cautious approach mindset, rather than basically the binary standard response that's hardwired into all of us of fight, flight. So I want you to take that away from this episode to start thinking cautious approach mindset rather than fight or flight. There is a definite better third alternative. Now, I teach these processes and skills in my programs and coaching, and I speak about these a lot in various episodes of this podcast. Now, whether you're starting out or you're a more seasoned trader looking to up your game, improving and maintaining your thought management and emotional regulation skills should always be high, I would argue, on top of the list of your habitual behavior. Much like if you are training to run marathons, keeping your weight under control, keeping fit, continuing to exercise pretty much every day is an essential part of staying in tip-top condition for running. It's the same with staying mentally fit for trading. So there you have it. Pink Floyd was right. Roger Waters was right. We don't need no thought control. The pathway to trading mental fitness is through independent, free thinking, solitude of thinking, not group herd thinking, and learning to see your own thoughts and manage them effectively. That is the key. It's yours for the taking. So I ask you, what is your next move? Friends, I invite you to come and see. Explore this area of mental fitness more. Now is the time to begin traveling down your own free path to self-mastery in trading and self-mastery in life and self-mastery in freedom of thought. Come and learn how to choose freedom of thought and why trading is the perfect place to express your free thought. Go to my website, enjoy all the learning materials there, learn what it takes to be mentally fit for trading, make a move in the right direction, take action now. Friends, I'll see you on the next episode of the Trading Psychology and Mindset Podcast.